live. Good morning, Mr. Jim. Good morning, good morning. So when do you take off for your trip? Sawadee Cup, everybody. Hope you're all doing good, doing well. Obviously, we are in Starbucks again. Once again. So, hopefully everybody can hear me all right, see me all right, everything's good. Today we're going to talk a little bit about violence in Thailand. Because, you know, the other day, been 3 days now, the incident that happened, a lot has been going on the last couple of days, and it just led me to think, wow, you know, I used to think that this place was so mellow and that people won't hurt you, and I'll give you some statistics and some things that have happened in the last couple of days, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Leaving Wednesday morning for Nong Khai, crossing over to Laos on Friday morning. Hired a driver to take us to Vientiane. Well, that's interesting because, Jim, I am going to Vietnam, and I've been thinking about how I want to go there. I know I want to fly back, but I've been thinking about going overland. I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, the price is about the same. There's no real difference in price. You don't save any money by going overland. So I'm thinking about doing that. But it is going to happen. The trip to Vietnam is going to happen. And that should be sometime between the 16th to the between the 16th and the 30th. So I may go for 2 weeks, I may go for a week, I may go for 5 days. I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting for some information from my wife, but it should be nice. Driver will take us to Van Vieng. Plan to take a train back to Vientiane. Yeah, I have thought about doing the trip that I talked about with you, which is taking the boat and then working my way down and going to Vietnam. But that's a bit of a haul to go from Chiang Mai to cross the border of Laos and then work my way down the river. I think it's Pak Bang, and then to go down even further and then go all the way to Vietnam. That's a hell of a trip. I don't think I'm ready for that. Quite honestly, I don't think I want to do that, but how long are you going to be there for? Fire, dude. Buenos dias. Sawadee Tan Chao. Mingla Ba. All that good stuff. Woodenhagen. I don't know if that's right. Anyway, I probably like you, Jim. You know, when you're in Thailand for a while, and you know, after a while, I mean, for me, I'm sure Jim probably feels this way, and guys like Patty Bob and Jono and everybody else that lives here. After a while, it's home, you know, and it's just like being in America. You're like, I got to get out of here. I got to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere different. And I've been at that point for quite some time, and so I think it'll do me good. Jim, I think it'll do you good to get out of Thailand for a spell. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I'll know more in the next week, because I have to get my visa if I go overland, I'll need a visa to, I don't need it. I don't think, no, you don't need one with Cambodia, but you can get one ahead of time, and it'll alleviate some problems. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, see, I kind of look at it a little bit differently, because I used to do it every month, and I used to take several trips sometimes in 1 month. If you feel like doing a road trip or flying out somewhere, then you go. But if you don't feel like it, you don't go. You know, you don't have to stick to, well, 1 time per month I'm going. I mean, because I did that, and after a while that'll get old, because you feel like it's an obligation. So, but today we're gonna talk about violence. I don't have any more room in my passport for the dang Cambodia. They take a whole page. Yeah. Well, I've showed my passport, my previous passports. You know, they no longer issue extra pages. You have to get a whole new passport. But when I first got here, I was going in and out of the country so many times that I had like 7 passports all stapled together. And then the next one, I think I had like 3 or 4, and then they stopped issuing the extra pages. So I don't travel that much anymore, fortunately. I don't want to travel that much anymore. And there is still part of me that's a little apprehensive. I'm like, do I really want to do this? But I do. And part of the reason is because I'll be with my wife. I get to spend some time together. And there'll be enough time where I can be on my own without her, where I can still go out and, you know, I can stream, I can shoot videos, I can do whatever I want. I can take a little trip, because she'll be busy most of the time. So, you know. I would also like to experience more than a couple of days in some places, maybe do a rental in a beach community for a few weeks or a month. Yeah, that's always nice. It's always nice because if you go for a few days, if you're only there for a few days, by the time you get there and settle down, a day, maybe 2 days is gone. You know, you get your bearings. And then if you're going to leave in another 2 or 3 days, it's like, all right, what are we going to do in these 2 days we're going to be here? Because on the 3rd day, we're not going to have any time. We got to leave. So it is nice to spend, you know, 3-4 weeks in a place, 2 weeks in a place. But anyway, where is 2/4 Asian? I thought today was a big UFC fight, but it's not for another, what is it, another 2 weeks? Yeah, another 2 weeks. So, but anyway, obviously what happened the other day is and was so tragic. And like I've said a few times already, it's worse than any horror movie, any slasher film. It's reality. It's horrible. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and the problem is, how are you going to stop it? I don't know that little preschools are going to feel good about putting a couple of armed guards, or any school, at the entrance. Now, the day after this attack on October 7th, the attack at the daycare happened on October 6th, the day after. a guy in Nakhon Ratchasima, he apparently had a dispute with his wife. He was high on, it says meth, but I'm going to assume it was yaba because that's kind of a norm here, the yaba. Oh, he also was 34 years old, just like the other guy. And he was in front of a school. He wanted to take his child away from his wife. And he had a pistol and a rifle. And, you know, fortunately, he was stopped before he could get in. The police came and they arrested him. And they got a picture of the guy. As they usually do, they take pictures of the people committing their crime or whatever. He's handcuffed. And you can see he's clearly distraught. Now, you know, who knows what he was distraught about? Was it his kid? Was it his wife? What was it? Was it the drugs? But that's neither here nor there. They got lucky. They stopped him in time from going, and who knows what he would have done. I mean, why are you going to school with a pistol and a rifle in Thailand? There's no reason for it. And so he was arrested. He had a 7-year-old son. Oh, and so they were very, very fortunate because as soon as he showed up, somebody notified the cops, and it says the Crime Suppression Division police who were conducting a volunteer activity nearby rushed to the scene. So they were right there. They were fortunate. They got in there before anything happened, before any trouble popped off. And he did who knows what to the people in the school. So they got lucky. I mean, really, that's really lucky. It says they found the man with 17 speed pills, a 9mm pistol, and 10 bullets, a rifle, and 55 .22 bullets. Guy had a dispute with his wife, and he was upset, and he went with a friend. They took 2 speed pills each, so it was yaba. And the police even said it's a copycat of the previous incident. Okay, wait a minute. It just says, I thought it was Nakhon Ratchasima. Other parents were shocked by the incident in Nakhon Si Thammarat and rushed this into Bangkok. What did it say? Oh, it says Nakhon Si Thammarat. Okay, I'm sorry. Wrong. It was wrong. It wasn't Quran. So, you know, who knows what would have happened there. Now, speaking about violence, you know, there was 2 years ago, there was a soldier who went on a rampage at a mall and outside the mall. He killed 27 people, wounded, I think it was 57 people. He created a lot of damage. And then in Bangkok, a couple of days ago, a soldier killed 2 people that he worked with. I don't know what it is about soldiers and cops. But now there comes a report that a Thai soldier shot at an Israeli expat. Apparently the soldier was screwing around with the Israeli's wife. And the Israeli and his wife have 5 children. And they've been married for 20 years. Well, that's not good. And they lived together in Pattaya for the past 20 years, but in 2019, the wife decided she wanted to open a coffee shop in her home province, Sakon Nakhon, in the northeastern part of Thailand, and the family picked up and moved with her to manage the shop. Apparently, one of the daughters added that her mother contacted the soldier when they first arrived in the province and had been seeing him ever since. Now, the Israeli guy knew about the affair and basically just, I guess, asked her to stop. And this is a couple of months ago. This is August 6th. The soldier parked his car outside the family's coffee shop. Bahar is the husband, urged the soldier to leave because it was family time. The soldier was angry at the Israeli man's order. Let me tell you something. One thing that Thai men don't like is some foreigner telling them what to do. Now, if it's like in a hotel and you know, this guy's the big boss and it's a big company like that, okay, they can, I believe that, and from what I've seen and know, they don't have a problem taking orders. But when it comes to just two regular people, they're not working in the same company or something like that. The Thai men, from what I know, they have a very hard time. And I've had experiences with this, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get too, it's a little bit too, people will know who I'm talking about, but it's happened several times. They get angry when you tell them what to do. They think they're losing face because they look at us as, a lot of times some of the Thais look at us as like, ugh. You think about how you get treated when you go into a taxi. Now, sometimes you get treated, most of the time I will say, you get treated very well. They're very polite, very nice. I had a great conversation the other day with the guy who picked me up. He was a very, very friendly guy. We had we had a great conversation on the way to Sarni's. But every once in a while you get some guy who just does it for whatever reason. He doesn't like you, he doesn't think you should be here, he thinks he's above you. Whatever it might be, or he's jealous, I don't know. And they really don't like being told what to do. Now, nobody likes being told what to do, but I'm talking about some of them will go to the extent they will try to shoot you, or they will try to beat you, or they will get their friends involved. So you have to be very careful about how you speak here, and that's the thing. Most people don't expect that if they say the wrong thing, they're going to get stabbed to death, or they're going to get beaten to death. The soldier was angry at this Israeli man's order. He took out his gun and fired 4 shots into the ground once at him. It was lucky the shot missed and no one was injured. Listen to this now. The father of 5 reported the incident to the police, who investigated, but there has been no update since. The daughter said her father was duped into signing a settlement agreement at the time with an interpreter at the police station who is her mother's friend. So, think about that. The interpreter is her mother's friend, and the mother is the one who's doing the screwing around. The family moved back to Pattaya for their safety while the mother remained in Solona. They hired a fairly famous lawyer, apparently, Kunsitra, and he believes nothing was done because the soldier is an influential person in the province and the police are afraid to prosecute him. The investigation continues, and I would love to see how that turns out. Now, you know, when you think of, I don't know, when I first came to Thailand, I thought, yeah, the land of smiles and all that kind of stuff. But I think something is broken here, and it's not only here, it's all around the world, which is why mass shootings happen. And there was another article that came out the other day. Let's see if I can find it here. There's a deadly mixture of guns, drugs, and domestic violence. So, as I said the other day, the number of guns in Thailand is, I believe it's the highest in Southeast Asia, 10.3 million. And out of those, 40% are illegal. They're not registered. And that's another reason why, and you know, I need to take this advice as well. When you're messing around with a taxi driver, it's probably a good idea not to get in any kind of physical confrontation. You know, it's better that you take down the license plate and call the police, call the Department of Land and Transport, as opposed to starting a fight, because some of them, you know, at the very least, usually they're carrying something, a crowbar, and it's usually right next to them, or a machete, or a gun. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do if the guy whips out a gun and he wants to shoot you? You're dead, man. You know, chances are you are dead. So it's best not to get into that. But I'll get into statistics in a minute. But what I kind of find interesting is that this seems to be increasing. These violent tendencies seem to be increasing. And while the guns are one thing, it's everything that, and I said this before, the only way you're going to stop this kind of a thing, or the mass shootings, is to attack the problem before the symptoms of the problem, so that it doesn't ever become a problem. And even that is extremely difficult. And you know, there are, the thing that they're not saying here, it says a deadly mix of guns, drugs, and domestic violence, but the other one is mental illness. And here in Bangkok, there are quite a few organizations and ways for people who have mental issues to get help. But out in the villages, very, very difficult for them to get the help that they need. So if you mix all those things together, the drugs, the guns, mental illness, and then you got a problem with your wife, and you know, you're ready to, I don't know, but there is, I don't know, honestly, I don't know if, like the guy the other day, I don't know if he's thinking, oh, I want to be famous, I want to be remembered, I want people to know my name. I don't know if that was the case. I mean, yes, we do learn about things more quickly. However, I don't know that, like, the guy who was trying to shoot the Israeli guy, I don't know that the guy that was in Nakhon Sitamarat, in the south, was going in to get his kid, and he's thinking, I'm going to show them, everybody's going to remember me because I'm doing these things, and I'm going to be famous. And the same goes with the one up in Nongbu Lampu. Fame, I don't think fame has anything to do with this. Now, they may very well have seen what happened in the past and what's happened in America and thought, hey, this is a way that I can make a mark as far as really damaging my family and damaging the families. I will create a lot of damage quite easily. It also helped that the soldiers and cops were stressed out, trying to come up with ways to pay up every month. Yeah, well, like I said, Jim, I don't think the fame and recognition, maybe somebody like a serial killer, but I think these guys, in these cases, I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think, if anything, they really wanted to hurt. There's a lot of anger. And, for example, the guy the other day, I really don't want to say his name or anything like that because I just think he doesn't deserve to be, his name does not deserve to be said. But this piece of garbage, you know, you cannot let people get to that point where they feel like, okay, the answer is for me to go crazy and start shooting up people, killing people. Yeah, I don't know that there really is, we're ever going to be able to solve this. What was I looking for here? Okay, now, oh yeah, I know what it is. Some guy wrote in immediately when I put the video up about the initial video when it first happened. He left a comment, and I'm going to read you his comment. And you know, I'm going to assume he's a troll. He's either a troll or he's an idiot. He says, yeah, well, the murder rate has doubled here in Louisville. That's Louisville, Kentucky, I'm assuming. And nobody, not one person has said a thing. So, wait a minute. What does that have to do? First of all, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Second of all, that's a bullshit statement. It's incorrect and it's bullshit. You know why? Because I researched it. In 2020, 173 murders in Louisville, Kentucky. In 2021, 188. As of the end of September this year, 132 murders. So, first of all, the initial statement, besides being completely having, there is absolutely nothing to do with, that has absolutely nothing to do with small children being murdered, slaughtered. Why would anybody bring that up? To me, the guy's an idiot, or a jackass, or whatever you want to call him. And that said, the thing is, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. I looked it up on very verifiable, credible sources, and I just stated the numbers: 173, 188, and as of the end of September, 132. How is that double? There's not double. Sorry. And unfortunately, it takes something like a mass shooting to nowadays to garner the attention. Really, I mean, nobody should be murdering anybody. That kind of violence is unacceptable. And then when you talk about little kids, well, obviously there's going to be people that are going to be really pissed off, really angry. And now in Thailand, the anger is setting in. Before it was denial. You know, there's a process. But it was denial. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Well, now people are starting to get pissed off. Now, somebody else left me a message. He said, frustration got mentally, first of all, I don't know what it is, but why is it all the people who write me, I think maybe they're trolls and they're trying to irritate me with their absolutely atrocious grammar and spelling. What is it with people now? You don't use spell check? You don't know how to spell? Are people that stupid? Maybe they aren't. Frustration. Got mentally pressure, P-R-E-A-S-U-R-E, that make the man snap. Sometimes people hurt other people for no reason at all. That sadly is the fact. Okay. Spelling error aside. Yes, sometimes people hurt other people for no reason. Yeah, that's a fact, of course. But here, let me just read you what I wrote to him. Mental pressure and the ability to handle it is what makes a man. This guy, the guy from October 6th, from the daycare center incident, this guy was weak as fuck. No man or woman should cave in to pressure to the point where they kill, much less children, small innocent children. Please, his actions and the lead up to this incident are disgusting. And that's, I don't think I could state it any better. It's absolutely disgusting. And you have people that are leaving comments and that have said things to me, and they're out of their heads. Well, this is just the way it is now. No, that's not just the way it is now, you idiot. Hey there, Pebble Dashing. Long time no see. You know, there's no reason for it. Now, yet again, here's another one. Not sure when this happened. Okay. Happened 5 a.m. on October 8th. A Khao San Road shopkeeper attacked a tourist. And the owner of the shop selling cannabis-infused craft sodas on Khao San Road was arrested after using a skateboard to hit a foreign tourist on the head and face. He was shutting his shop. He saw his friend was involved in a punch-up with a foreign man. He then stepped in to help his friend by using the skateboard to bash the tourist's head, and after that, hit him twice in the face. He added that the fight ensued after the foreign tourist looked at his friend's girlfriend and then tried to approach her. Now, who knows? I don't know. There's not that many details here. But really, do you need to smash somebody over the head with a skateboard? I mean, if the guy was grabbing the girl, and the girl, like, says, hey, what are you doing? And the guy doesn't get away. Okay, I understand. But he wasn't doing that. He looked at her. Now, maybe he didn't know that the girl was with somebody. So why would you hit somebody with a skateboard? So this is the other problem. And you always hear about these people like on the SkyTrain or wherever it is. You know, there's some security guard and so-and-so does something that the guy doesn't like, the security guard doesn't like. It shouldn't be a big deal. And the next thing you know, the guy's like trying to kill him. So there needs to be, I think there needs to be the people here. There needs to be something implemented in school that says, hey, there's a time for violence, and 99% of the time, you don't need it. The tourist was quickly taken to Huaqiu hospital for treatment, but could not initially be questioned because of his injuries. National Police Chief, Police General Damrangsak Kittiprapat ordered Chana Songkram Police Station to quickly solve this case and catch the attacker. Police investigators went through surveillance camera clips on the escape routes. They then found that the suspect was a member of one of three skateboard groups who usually cruise around Bang Lampu roundabout and Sipsamhang Road. So I suspect that they will catch the guy. Now, what happens is anybody's guess, which is another problem. If you smash a skateboard over some tourist's head, and there's a picture here, and he's got blood all over his arm, all over his shirt, all over his pants. If you do that, you should not get just like a 1,000 baht fine and a slap on the wrist. Sorry. Yeah, and I mean, this is what I'm talking about, though. That is not appropriate. And, you know, you're talking to somebody who, when I was younger, I was a bit of an idiot. Somebody looked at me the wrong way, then the next thing you know, I'm brawling. But, you know, you do start to learn over time that it's not the brightest thing to do. You know, all you got to do is think about the story where And it happens all the time where somebody throws a punch, they hit a guy. Maybe they've never thrown a punch in their life. Maybe they don't know how to fight for, they wouldn't know how to fight. And they throw a punch, they hit a guy, the guy falls down, bangs his head on the edge of like on the curb of the roadside or sidewalk or whatever, or they hit their head on the ground, boom, they die. Next thing you know, the guy's in jail for life. So there is something to be said about keeping your wits and not keeping your calm. I think that's something that, it's very easy to say, well, I'm not going to because I've done it, I'm not going to let him do that. He's not going to get away with that, man. If that guy did that, I'm just going to crack him. I understand, but what I'm saying is it doesn't seem like a very good idea here. Now, interestingly enough, violence in Thailand is on the downswing. I don't know how this... how they figure this out, but it's per 100,000. Back in 1995, it was 13 cases per 100,000. In 2014, it was 6.7, and it's continued downward to now it's 2.8. So who knows why this is, but maybe they're not recording things as well. Maybe things are, I don't know, but I would think they're pretty good about this. This is coming from various data sources. The world, what's it called? The World Bank. This one is from the Macro Trends, which doesn't go back far enough. It only goes to 2011. But if you compare crime in Thailand versus the United States, okay, the age of criminal responsibility, FYI, in Thailand is 10 years old. In the United States, it's 6 years old. Now, that's just criminal responsibility. Crime levels in Thailand, 36.46%, which is number 60 out of how many, I don't know, but you figure there's only about 200 countries. United States, 53% more, 55.84%. Drug use, now granted this is bound to go up, but this is annual cannabis use. It says 1.2% in Thailand, that's 23rd in the world, 13.7% in the United States. Opiates, 0.1% in Thailand, 0.57% in the United States. Okay, here we go. Murder rate. Wow. United States, 5. I'm gonna say that. Let me see here, because they have the definitions here. Murder. Murder rate. Okay, this is intentional homicide number and rate per 100,000. And that was 5.9 in Thailand, 5 in the United States. And interestingly enough, Thailand has 50% more police than the United States. I don't know how that happens. Per 100,000, they have 50% more. The problem with the yaba, the big problem with yaba, is that once you do it enough, it's like crack. You ever seen a crack, like a heavy, hardcore crackhead? I'm not talking about somebody who smoked it a few times. I'm talking about somebody who smoked it for years and years and years. Like you always see prostitutes on TV, on American TV, US TV, and they always have this motion. They're clicking their jaws and they're doing stuff. They can't stop it. And with the yaba, it causes psychosis. And so what are they going to do for the people who, well, I'll give you an example. If you remember when I went to Guangdong, and there is the girl there who was living in this guy's little, I mean, he had this little, I don't even know if you call it a house or whatever it was. He had like 2 rooms. One was upstairs for his wife and him. One was downstairs for his like brother and brothers. And then outdoors, next to an outdoor toilet, was a little, I don't know what you would call, a little wooden platform with a metal top on it so that the rain wouldn't come down on top of her. And that's where she lived and slept. And it's surrounded by garbage. Now, there have been times that I talked to that woman, I could not understand anything. I don't think she understood me. And the reason is because her use of methamphetamines was so great, there's no coming back. So you could say, okay, now we're really going to work on it. And let's say that this guy, he just started a year ago, and now he keeps doing yaba for another 4 years. Well, in 10 years from now, that guy's still going to be screwed up. He's still going to have problems. And the thing is, I don't see many people in Thailand, I don't see companies in Thailand. Now, obviously, I don't know because sometimes people hide it better than others. Some people hide it better than others. Oops. I forgot my tripod for some reason. And so the phone is on one of these, I don't know what you call them, one of these tumblers. But anyway, so what are you going to do about this? Because in years, people are still going to be tweaking out. They're still going to have psychosis. And they're never going to get better. So this is the problem, is that some people, they need such considerable help. And to me, it seems like, listen, the social safety net here is not the greatest. We all know that. It's not very, and I don't know why. I don't know, because it seems like, Thailand is starting to become a fairly prosperous nation. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, and I've said it a few times now, but their goal is to become a high economy nation by, I think it was 2037. Well, you can't have people worried about if they get into the wrong taxi and they say the wrong thing to the taxi driver, the taxi guy's going to shoot them because he's angry. You can't have these kind of things. So you got to figure out what to do about it. Let me move this forward. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? Because I'm of the opinion that try as you may, there's always going to be these kind of problems. And that's the sad thing, is that this may not be the last time that something like this ever happens. And, I wrote about corruption here, and I've talked about it. And, when you're talking about, I didn't wear my motorcycle helmet, and I got pulled over, and I just paid the cop 500 baht, well, then corruption works in your favor. When something happens, and let's say you get into a fight and you have to pay 50,000 baht, and then there's no charges. Okay, it works in your favor, but it also works against people. And some of the things, and who knows what only the police probably know about just how bad corruption is, or just how infrequent it is in the police forces and in the military. Hey Andy, how you doing? It's a good resource network in the schools to interview with the drug problem. Once they're out of school, I don't believe there are many resources. There are resources, but not out in the villages, not like here. Yeah, that's the thing is that I'm not saying that it's absolutely the police who are the dealers because I don't know. I'm just a Farang here. But from what I've heard, some of the police actually might be involved. Now, that doesn't strike confidence. That doesn't inspire confidence. In this Nong Bua Lampu area, there was something that I mentioned it briefly, but it was something, and I really couldn't get all the information out of Alex. It was a bunch of mumbo jumbo. But they have something called the White Police Project, and that was so that the community would believe that the police were not on drugs and that the police were not corrupt. But I've read and I've heard and I've seen people say it that everybody in that community knew this guy and knew he was a druggie. What are you going to do? You're going to rat the guy out because he's out partying, having a good time, doing drugs? I mean, who knows what he's going to do? But he'd been doing it since he's 34 years old. He'd been doing it since high school. Let's say that he was 16 when he started. Let's say he's 15. That seems a little more plausible for me. But let's say he's 15. Well, he's 34. That's 19 years of yaba use. Well, it used to be that everything came through from up in the Golden Triangle, even the yaba. The Chinese are involved, the Laotians are involved, the Thais are involved, the Burmese are involved. And what the guy told me yesterday was that he doesn't think that they're ever going to be able to stop it. He said there's just too much money involved. And you think about it, it's just like cocaine in the U.S. How are you going to stop cocaine in the U.S.? How are you going to do that where nobody's doing coke anymore? And interestingly enough, the guy who was the shooter the other day tested negative for drugs. Some hit bike lane. And then we saw a Mao. A Mao? What's a Mao? Laying in the bushes. You saw him and he was drunk? I don't understand. What's a Mao? Guys, do me a favor. If you like the channel, you like what I'm doing, hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Click that notification bell. Get yourself a shirt. Get yourself a hat. Whatever it might be. If listen, if you like me going to places and doing things like I used to do before the big virus, you can always buy a shirt. That helps. It wasn't even that, Andy. It was that no temple would allow his body to be burned there, so they wouldn't allow him to come in. Okay, so the kid was drunk, or somebody was drunk. I don't know if it was a kid, but A Mao. Coke or other narcotics. All the same problem. Once the bosses benefit from the sales, it will never stop. Yeah. I mean, this has been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years. I'm surprised that they stopped opium and heroin, honestly. You know, with heroin in the old days, they used to put it in a little thing like a Sucrets can, like one of those kind of cans, and they put a syringe and needle, and they put a little packet of, and the instructions with heroin in it. And you know, the opium thing, the only reason they got rid of the opium is not because they didn't like people using it. It was because the women didn't have any more money, and they were going and sleeping with the Chinese so that they could get their fixes. And the white people who were in charge didn't like that. Frankie. Anyway, so let me continue here. All right, I'll give you an example. In Mexico, there are 23.52 murders per 100,000. In Thailand, as of 2022, 4.9, that's what it is. Venezuela, 48.8%. The Golden Triangle will always exist. It's still there, man. And it's still used, but a lot less frequently than it used to be. All they do is they find new routes. Now the route is, I think that the Burmese are involved quite a bit less. They're involved less than they used to be. It's still around, and they're still growing opium and stuff like that, but not nearly to the like it was before. And that's because of Kun Sa, the guy who was the big boss of all that. I think he was the head of the Wa Army. I'm trying to remember, but anyway, he, you know, that's they used the funds that they made to finance the anti-government army, I guess it was, because I thought it was the Wa Army. I haven't thought about this stuff in about 15, 20 years now, but when I first came over here, I was pretty into that area. I do like Massaut, Miyawadi, and then going up north in both Thailand and in Myanmar. And if you remember, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but I took a train. This is the train where I was bouncing all over the place. Train from Yangon to Ye. There was Ye, and there was another one. I can't remember. I always forget one of the names. God, this is, you know, they turned the music on very loud here. Let me see here. Yeah, I mean, when I see some of these comments, and I hear people say, you know, oh well, it's gonna keep happening, you know. Yeah, okay, we understand that, but you know, like, how about you minimize it? I don't think it's minimized. It's too damn easy. And then what's funny is, within the same day, I got a guy going, can I bring prescription methadone into Thailand? Anyway, I digress. Listen, it's a very depressing subject. What happened the other day, extremely troubling. And that's, I can't even imagine how the parents feel. I mean, if it was me, I would be pissed. I would be extremely pissed off. However, today is the 9th. Wow. In as soon as a week, no more than 2 weeks, I will be going to Vietnam. And I have been thinking about like taking a train to Patet and then going over to Phnom Penh, and from Phnom Penh going to Ho Chi Minh. I've been thinking about doing that way just to provide a little excitement, to provide a little, you know, going on a little road trip over there. And also, FYI, the barista here, where's Gennaro? Oh, he's not here. Sorry, Gennaro, but the barista here, known as Beer, has been sick. She's been ill. She told me she's been, she's got to take like the doctor wants her to take like 4 or 5 days off. I think that it is the Thai nature to turn the other cheek, not my problem, until something like this happens. I think you're right, but I think there's a little more to it. And that is that if nobody's being harmed as far as something like what just happened, I think that the Thais look at it from the standpoint of this guy's trying to make a living. They all think about this. Oh, he's trying to make a living, trying to make money for family and take care of family, him have 2 babies and that kind of stuff. And so unless something is happening right then that is causing damage, physical damage, long-term damage to the reputation of the country, and it's out there for everybody to see, I think they're not so apt to take action. They're slow to take action. With this is all over the internet. This is everywhere. This is, you know, an international incident. I don't know, but this will make anything happen, honestly. And that's kind of sad. I mean, and again, you know, what are you going to do? Just what are you going to do? I drove by a little preschool yesterday. I went by it. I just happened to go by it, and then I was thinking about the preschool where my kids went to, and I'm thinking to myself, how what are they going to do? They're going to have guards with guns standing at the entrance? I mean, even that's not going to do much. First of all, it's going to probably scare the hell out of the kids, or some of them might think it's cool. But really, if somebody wants to do anything, if they see the guard, they know the pattern, they research it a little bit, they stake the place out. Guy's standing there, they're in the car somewhere, behind a car, they just shoot the guy. He doesn't even know where they are. So that's what I mean. It's very difficult for them to make to stop this. I just don't see it happening, and it's a damn shame. But what I do think is that they need to work on. These are symptoms of problems in society, and I've been saying this about the United States. The United States has got so many problems. There's so many symptoms. I don't think they have any clue where to start for some of this stuff. They're sleeping most of the time anyway. That's not untrue. But yeah, it's been all over the place, Andy. It's let's see if I can get this. Oy. I know it's been on the BBC. It's been on in the United States. It was on CBS, and you know, it's all over the place. So, Jim, dude, I've been here 30 fucking years. I got experience. I do have experience. I know a guy that used to run the Golden Triangle. I mean, I appreciate it. But, like, I know this guy from the Golden Triangle. He just told me story after story. I sat down with him before, and and, you know, the one thing that he did say to me is, it's not about how good you are. It's not about, you know, how proficient you are and all that. You know, it's about who you know. And that's something in Thai society that really needs to change. I mean, that's my opinion. It doesn't mean that, you know, I'm just a foreigner. I don't know anything, right? I mean, what do I know? But, you know, how did this guy, who was by most accounts, everybody knew he was a druggie. Well, why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they boot him out of the force sooner? That would be my question. Why did he have access to guns if he had been suspended? You know, what happened to give me your badge and give me your gun? And if you have any other guns at the house, you're going to have to give them up. What happened to this? You know, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I don't like thinking about it because it'll just piss me off. It really pisses me off. And you know, then I'm just some guy, you know, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You think the police are going to listen to me? No, of course not. But you would hope that they would make some changes that at least could have an effect in the future. Yeah, I mean, how long's that guy been gone now? Years. And, you know, that was, oh, we'll pay this, we'll pay that. It just doesn't sit well. It doesn't sit well with me, and there are reasons why people think the way they do about Thailand outside of the country. And I'm not saying that everybody thinks bad things about Thailand or anything like that. What I'm saying is a lot of people have the attitude, well, anything goes here. You can do whatever you want here. You know, you want somebody dead, you can have them dead. You want to get out of something, you can pay. And, you know, there's something to be said for that because, shit. This is how it's been for many, many, many years. Gennaro, I just went over this. Your girl, Miss Beer, is sick. She'll be out for a couple of days. Andy, I know you know that I said I'm going to Vietnam, or I might be going, and now it looks like it is going to happen. But I may go overland on the way out. I'm not sure yet. I may go overland. As long as it costs about the same amount of money, I'll do it. The only thing I'm thinking of is, do I really want to sit there and, you know, if I could take a train to Aranya Pratet and then go across the border, then you got to get to Phnom Penh. Then from Phnom Penh, you got to go down to Ho Chi Minh. It might be fun, I don't know, or it might just be one hell of a long way for nothing, you know. But you know, if I do that, then I'll be going through Cambodia as well, and I'll spend at least a day or two there. So that might be interesting. It's been a long time since I've been there, and my buddy is going. Well, my buddy's there right now. I'm not sure how long he's going to stay though. But if he's still there, it'd be nice for me to meet up with him there. I got no idea where. I mean, I'm always getting messages from 2/4 Asian, and Soy Dog was here the other day. But you know, we got a lot of new. They got a lot of new people here. Jono is doing well. I went over there the other day to his place, and he sharpened some knives for me, and we had a nice afternoon. He was glad to be back. Yeah, I really like Vietnam, and I like the fact that my wife will be there. You know, I have my time during the day and some of the evenings, and then we have some time together, and I like that. That'll be good. So that is going to happen. I'm just waiting for some information from her, which will be sometime this week, and then I'll figure out when can I go, when should I go. I already figured out the cost to fly there round trip, and I'm trying to figure out if I'm trying to remember what it was like to take those long ass trips. However, in Phnom Penh, or rather in Cambodia, I can tell you that they have done the roads up. It used to just be dirt roads, man. When you're going from like Poi Phet to Phnom Penh, it was dirt roads, and it can get really hairy, man. But now they've paved the roads and things are much better. Anyway, so the actuality is that in Thailand the violence has decreased. However, I think we're more aware of it, and you know, you still need to be careful here. Yeah, a lot of changes there, and I still say that they are never going to match Thailand, simply because Thailand has a lot more resources, and I should never say never, but it's unlikely they will match them anytime soon, where Cambodia will outdo Thailand as a tourist destination. I can't see. Okay. More time goes by, the more blind I get. I like your MO, Andy. Taking a wife this time, Andy? Taking a wife to Cambodia? Thing with my wife in Vietnam is she's always working. She doesn't have that much time to go see anything, but she does have some of the people that she works with, some of the girls that she works with have, you know, they turned her on to different Vietnamese restaurants, and they've made Vietnamese food for her and stuff like that. No wife ever again. Yeah. See, if we were going and we were just going together for 2 weeks, yeah, that could be a little, you know, every minute of every day you're together. But as she'll be working some of the time, most of the time, it's perfect. It's a perfect, it was just like when she and I went to Bali together. That was a great trip. I love that. I'd rather go to Bali. Honestly, I'd rather go to Bali than go to Vietnam. I know some people love Vietnam and they like Bali or whatever, but I would take Bali any day over Vietnam. I don't know why. You know, it's the vibe, it's a feeling. And I had thought about going somewhere else in Thailand, but then, once the Vietnam thing came up, I thought, hey, good place to go, man. The last time I went was, I think it was about 3.5 years ago. If you guys remember, and I took the train from Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh. Yeah. What's today, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. Anyway, enough about the violence. It's unfortunate. What is this right here? I don't know what year this is. Oh, okay. They all have different numbers for these things. He's got number of homicides 1,787. By firearm 1,397. Rape rate 2.1 per 100,000 versus America, which, wow. In the United States, it's more likely, you're 18 times more likely to be raped in the United States than in Thailand. So what's that tell you? No coconut girl, sorry. Gennaro, you do not want to see this coconut girl, believe me. You just don't. She's got a pleasant personality. What are you talking about? I'm giving you good news. I told you I'm going to Vietnam. Between a week and 2 weeks from now, I'm leaving. I'm there. Probably so, Fire Dude. Here it may be nobody wants to admit to it, that it happened to them. Fear of being ostracized. Nobody said life was easy. That's for damn sure. It's very complex, man. Well, now you know that. Now you do know. And what I'm saying, Gennaro, is I'm not positive about this because I know I can get a pretty good price on a ticket, but there's a chance that I'll, take the train and then, a minivan, and then, and I may go that way just to get to Ho Chi Minh, which means I go through Cambodia as well. It'd just be Ho Chi Minh, but if I go on the way, then I'll go to Phnom Penh. I'll go across Thailand. I'm not going to Sapa. My wife will be there. I don't know where I'll be going. Yeah, Fire Dude, it's I'm not sure how you describe how police act here towards victims. I would say that they could do with some empathy training. I really don't know if I'll be able to go anywhere else. I may take some little journey where I go on the Mekong or something like that. I don't know. I don't know yet because I'm waiting for info from the wife. I'm waiting for a few things, and we'll see. We'll see. But get your t-shirts now. Get your polos now. Get your hats now. All that helps. All that helps finance this channel. So anybody who does, and anybody who has, which was yesterday, I don't remember the person's name, but thank you very much. I'd rather go to Da Nang. But you know, like I said, I got my wife, so it's I could feasibly go see her for a day, take off for say 2 nights, then come back and then spend the rest of the trip with her. I could do something like that, but I don't know. Fortunately, you know, Vietnam is not the most expensive place. Gennaro, when are you coming over here? I know everybody lives vicariously. Well, not everybody. Andy doesn't. But a lot of people are living vicariously through my trips. But when are you coming over, Gennaro? When are you taking a little trip? This thing is irritating. January. Oh, all right, all right. Well, 2/4 Asian will be over here in due time. So will, who else is coming over here? Oh, Chucky. Chucky will be over here in about a little more, about 5 weeks. No idea. I got no idea because everything's changed, you know, has changed over the past few months. There you go. There's Miss Prail. This place is empty now. Completely empty. Let me see if I can do this here. Don't get too excited, Gennaro. Jesus Christ. I don't know. Now maybe for a month or so they were working the afternoon shift. Let me set this up again. Well, there will be other trips, believe me. There will be other trips in the future. And some of the places you guys will not want to go, and some of the places you won't go. But, you know, everybody, to each his own. You go wherever you want to go. I just like to go places that I really want to go. You know. Trying to get a hold of my buddy there in Myanmar. It's been kind of difficult lately, but you know, that's another place. Shit. How could I forget my mini tripod? What's with Sagao, Gennaro? What is with that? Why do you want to go there? I've been there. That was one of the first. I didn't even live here, and I went there. I took a taxi. The story is this, and this is a true story. There's so many, Andy. You know, I like Cebu. I like Boracay. Really, I've only been like 4 places. You know, I've been in Manila, I've been in Angeles City. I would not I mean, you know, I wouldn't recommend Angeles City. Yeah, Palawan, I forgot about that, yeah. But Siqueo, I mean, you know, I, it was, I think, my third trip. And on my first trip, I met a little filly, a young lady. And, you know, each time I had come, the first two times I got to know her a little bit, and we'd hang out and do things. And so the third time I came, and she had said she was going to meet me, and then I got there and to her apartment. And her sister said to me, well, she went back home. And I said, oh, well, I was supposed to meet her. And she said, well, she told me, if you want, you can go see her at her house. I said, okay. So I went all the way to Siqueo. She got me a hotel in the city. And then I promptly got smashed. Everybody got smashed, her whole family. We got all smashed. I fell asleep in a hammock. And I woke up and there's a buffalo looking at me. Like 5 feet away, I look over and I see this buffalo. I'm like, what the hell happened last night? You know? All the nice ones are... There are nice chicks everywhere, man, really. I honestly don't believe there's one area where they're so much nicer than... You know, there is a saying about Isan and the women. And it's just like everywhere else. If you get a good one, you get a good one. You get one that's not going to cheat on you, that's, you know. In Isan, you know, there are some people who believe that if you keep paying the money, it doesn't matter if you got a bunch of Mia Nois. You can have 3, 4, 5 Mia Nois. As long as you keep paying, taking care of the Mia Luang, then, you know, you can do your thing. But there are nice girls everywhere, you know, so it's just been my experience. Isan, the north in Lana, in the south, I like the south and I like the southerners. Well, that's mainly in the south and obviously in Isan. Yeah, exactly, Fire Dude. I mean... And the one thing that I do find about... And I lived in Isan. Like I said the other day. I lived in Udon Thani. And... what I found is that in the morning, there was a whole lot of jabbering going on, and when I was trying to sleep, and it would wake me up every day, and I'd be like, I want to yell out, shut the hell up. People are still sleeping, but that's not how it works. So I didn't like that very much. But then again, even in the South, I wake up and, you know, there's people milling around and they're starting to make the coffee. And I tend to wake up before anybody else. So, you know. Just like I wrote in one of my books, or both of my books. You know, you get these taxi drivers going, oh, I don't like the dark, I like the white-skinned girls. And then you see one of their wives, and their wives are dark as can be. You know. Okay, so you had one from the South. I've been to Nakhon Si Thammarat several times. I don't know. I like the whole area. Actually, my buddy is coming up on a train from Malaysia, and he's probably going to be stopping in Chumphon and also Bajua. Because he asked me, where would you go? And I said, well, I'd go to both those places. I said, just watch out for the beaches in Chumphon, because you might get bit by the sand fleas. Yeah, his future ex-wife is in Sakal. I mean, listen, the girl was nice. She was very nice. Nice girl. But, you know, just like with the one at Udon, I wasn't going to go anywhere because I was not mentally stimulated. I mean, you know, it's... I need to have a little, I need to be able to have a little conversation once in a while and be able to carry on a somewhat intellectual conversation. You know, say what you will, but it's nice to be able to talk to somebody once in a while. So you're going to Karat, Sukhothai, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Sukhothai is nice. Sukhothai is very nice. Karat, you know, it's alright. Udon, alright. You know. What was the name of that place that I went? Mahasarakam? Was that the one that it was? I went to one place once and I got dropped off in a Songtao, by a Songtao on the side of the freeway. It was like the tollway, whatever you want to call it. It was like a highway. It's not like it wasn't elevated. And I'm thinking to myself, where the hell am I going to go? There's nothing around here. I start sticking my thumb out. I walk and I walk and I walk. And of course, I'm sweating my balls off. And I walk and I walk and I walk. And then some guy in a pickup truck picks me up. I jump in the back of this pickup truck. I tell him I want to go to a hotel. Take me to a hotel. Because there were no motorbikes, nothing. I was out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't like that city very much. There wasn't all that much to do. Finally, I found a little hotel, and you know, I got straightened out there and fed and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of places, Gennaro, that are just absolutely beautiful. I personally like the beaches more than the jungles and the forest. But you know what? When you're out there and you're in some jungle, you know, it's all good. Another one. I don't even remember her name. Karat. Yeah, beaches, you can't go wrong with a nice beach. And yeah, and you know, like for me, I can tell you I will never ever live in Isan. Ever. I will never buy a piece of land in Isan, and I just don't want to do it. No way. There's no way in hell. I don't want to be out in the middle of freaking nowhere or out in some little village and everybody knows my business, and I just don't want that. It's just not for me, man. I did that before, and there's too many nice places out there, really, really nice places where you can go and you don't have people right next door to you, and you know, that's not how it is everywhere in Isan. I know that, but obviously there's some huge, you don't call them plantations, rice fields, huge properties. But a lot of the places are in the smaller villages, they're all near each other, and you know, I don't know. I do like in the south where we are that, you know, there's a place you got to walk 5 minutes away to get there. You want to get to the town. It's going to take you an hour and a half. I like that. That's perfect for me. So this is, I don't remember her name, this girl, the one over by the door. I don't remember, but she's one of the bosses. She's one of the managers here. The other thing about you know, being careful where you live is that in some places, if you're going down when I was in Udon-Thani, I lived out in the village, man, and it was like, you go down this road, it's like a 2-lane highway. And if you stop on the side of the road for something, you're out, there are no trees, there are no, you know, there's no shelter, there's no shade, you're gonna be frying your balls off. I don't know. So maybe that's why I like the beach, because I know you can always just go to the beach, jump in the beach. There's always going to be some kind of shade around. Quite a few Farang who live here split their time between here and Hua Hin. Yeah, well, Hua Hin has changed in the last 25 years. It used to be the place that, you know, where well, thank you very much, Janara. That helps me go to Vietnam. But oh, more in the Vietnam fun. All right, thanks, Andy. Choke D to everybody. I will let you all know exactly when I'm going, as soon as I know, which will be sometime this week. But Hua Hin used to be a place where, you know, it was mainly a Thai tourist destination. There were a few foreigners that would go, and I like to go there. And actually, I went to Hua Hin once. I was looking around for the statue of Pon King Pech. Was it in Hua Hin? I think that's where it was. I went there to photograph. I just went there specifically to photograph his statue. Yeah. It's at Pon King Pech Park in Hua Hin, and it's not really a park. It's very small. It's quite small, but he's got a nice statue there of Pon King Pech. If you don't know who Pon King Pech is, he is the very first champion in Western boxing for Thailand. Very, very talented fighter, skilled fighter. Wow, okay. Huh. Yeah, but you know, back at around that time when I was going, it was like, I don't know, I'm just going to guesstimate, but we'll say 10 ties to every foreigner. Now it's probably 7 ties to 3 foreigners. Maybe it was 20 to 1, now it's 7 to 3. But there didn't used to be that many. Which is why the last time I went, I was like, holy shit, man. I cannot believe that there is traffic here. What are you planning on doing in Laos? I mean, what are do you have any destinations that you're going to go check out? Van Ving is I don't know if it still is, but it used to be the big party place. And actually, that was one of the places where I was going to go a long time ago when there were still opium dens. And the opium dens were starting to shut down, and there was almost none left. But there were some in Van Vieng, and I was going to go there. And then all I had to do was read that sometimes the Laotians will set the foreigner, you know about this kind of stuff. But, I just wanted to go in there and see if I could, I just wanted to go in there and see if I could photograph the place with no faces and that kind of stuff, and then document it and write a story on it. I started reading more about it, and I was like, you know what, I'll probably get arrested. The Laotians will probably arrest me, and then they're going to want $1,000, $2,000 to get out of jail, even though I wasn't there to partake. And then the thing is if you're going to go, why would you not partake? You want to do the complete story, So that never happened. It takes me 10 things to figure out to do to get one that I really, really like. Drink beer, Riverside. Okay. You can do that in Nong Khai, right? What the hell was the name of that guest house? Yeah, well, Fire Dude, I don't know about the hot chicks, man. I didn't find there to be a plethora of hot chicks there. Yeah, they're there, but not like with the frequency of here, or like in Pattaya or something like that. Oh shit, my battery's going low. All right, well, I like your style. How can we do this here? Let me show you something. This is my tripod right here. Lives in Luang Prabang, Adamatmi. Yeah, I've been there many times, many times. It's changed a lot. Nong Khai's changed quite a bit. Again, that's, I'm trying to think of the places that I went that you guys would remember that I really, really like. I mean, obviously, Kokut was one. Koh Chang, both of the Koh Changs, both of the Chang Islands, the one in the south and the one in the east. I like those. I like Chumpon, but I just didn't like the fact that I got bit to shit by the sand fleas. I did like it there. It was nice, but I would have been more. If you guys remember, I got a beer at like 10 in the morning, and there was that young Thai lady that helped me. She was somewhat voluptuous. I probably would have been better off staying around in that area, Chien Khan. I'm wondering how many backpacker types are going to be in Van Vieng. The ones that ride the inner tubes down the river and that sort of thing. Because there used to be a lot. I don't know what there's. I can't see there being nearly as many now, but. And usually Laos is not a place where people go first. It's kind of like with Cambodia. Most people don't fly directly to Cambodia. They come to Thailand or they go to Singapore, and then they go as a next destination. They don't just say, "Oh, I'm going to go to Laos. You know where I'm going this year? I'm going to go to Laos." Most people don't do that. They're taking. Anyway, the mall is open. There's some nice things about it. The Koh Chang in the east. I would say 4 days and 3 nights. I mean, I went there, the last time I went there was to be at my buddy's gym and train in my buddy's gym. That was a little different. But to go and just stay there and do something, yeah, 4 days is the max. 4 days and 3 nights. Yeah, just don't get too drunk and then go on the inner tube, which that happens all the time with these younger kids. They get completely shit-faced. They get the, they have these things like, what do you call it? They have their drinks where they make like a jungle juice or something. And the guys end up drinking like 2 or 3 of these buckets and they get totally shit-faced. And then they go on the inner tubes and they find themselves in trouble. Like, I don't know how many people have drowned there, but I believe there's been a couple that have. You're not going to go to the Plain of Jars? Or are you? Listen, I don't know what you guys think, and I may put a little poll up in the near future, but I've been doing like 2 videos a week and 1 stream, and I'm thinking about doing 2 videos and 2 streams a week. I think that's, I don't know. Yeah, I've been to them. I went the last time I went was about 10 years ago. And that's when we had a show right on the beach. We had an event, a boxing event right on the beach. And then afterwards, it was a big party. Plenty of weed and mushroom shakes. Plain of Jars. Well, just remember, you might not be back to Laos for a while, so maybe it's worth the trip. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gents, I kissed the streams. What is this? I missed the streams. Get, flights expensive now, $700 one way to Cambodia. Not Jetstar, full service airlines. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you something. I'm just not into the whole walking around streaming thing. If I'm in a different country, that's different. But here in Thailand, I mean, you got to look at it from my standpoint. I mean, and I know I've said this before, but how many times am I going to walk around Chinatown? I mean, it gets boring for everybody, not just me. How many times am I going to walk down Sukhumvit Road? And because of the traffic, especially the traffic now in my area, and it's being such a pain in the ass to get around, I'm much less apt to do these walkabouts here in Thailand. But I'm not saying I won't ever do them again, but maybe I do one a month. Yeah, that's why. Honestly, when I go with my wife or my wife and my kids, I have an idea of what I want to do, and usually I pick like one thing that I really want to do. I have to do it. And then I leave everything else up to the wife because she's, she's like my mother. She wants to pack in as much to do in like one day as you can possibly do, which is like when we were in Chiang Mai the last time, I let her plan everything. And you know, there were times I was like, really? We gotta go, we're going all these places? I was like, what the hell, man? Because, you know, I like to focus on the spending quality time at a place. I mean, even if I go to like what do you call them? You don't call them slums anymore. I don't remember what you know, poverty-stricken neighborhood. Like I did in Bangladesh. I want to go there and spend some time there. I want to spend, you know, hours, 4, 5, 6 hours, spend the day there. I don't want to just go there for an hour. Okay, let's go to here now, and you don't really get a feel for the place. That's just my opinion. But all right, what was being said here? What's the name of that famous street food soy? Wing Wang? What the fuck are you talking about? Wing Wang? Street food place. I don't know, man. God. Well, that's another thing, is that, yeah, it's it needs to be cooler here, because listen, I mean, look, I'm here in my little shirt, I'm dry, I'm not sweating my nuts off, everything's good. I go back home, I'll be dry when I get home. When I go out for a walk, it's a full-on sweat your nuts off day. I do lots in one day, at least two to three places. Yeah, I do usually, but or more, it's all go. Yeah. It's always been I don't know, it's been, for me, I always would wake up, and I'm not taking as many photos as I used to, but I will be taking photos in Vietnam. You know, I like to take my time. I don't want to rush. Oh, yeah, I got to get to this place. I got to get to that place. So if there's 10 places I want to see and I got 10 days, you know, yeah, if I can do 2 in a day, that's great, because maybe I have a day when I can just kind of catch up or relax or rest or just go hang out at a coffee shop. That's fine. What's going on here? Yeah. Humidity sucks. Yes, it does. I want to spend time enough to get the vibe. Just take a selfie and then, yeah. See, that's just not me. And if you ever, most of the time, I'm not taking photos of me. Listen, when I was younger, maybe I'd be like, ooh, yeah, look at me, baby. So fit, so healthy, yeah, look at me. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't want to, I barely want to see myself in a video screen. And the only reason I do it is because, you know, it's kind of necessary. I don't want to see myself anymore, and I damn sure don't want to, you know, focus on myself in some video. Pretty busy for right now. There we go. All right, what else was in here? Let's see here. You know, Gennaro, I'm sure you remember when I used to take those 3, 4, 5 hour strolls. I think I like to save my energy up a little bit more now. It's better to do a 1 hour stroll, 2 hour stroll than a 5 hour stroll. Unless I was doing, you know, like a hike or something, which I'm trying to get my wife to go to something like that in the next couple of months. I've been trying for a while, but we don't have the time. We don't always have the time, and you know, oh shit, we gotta think about our cat too. So Alex will be home. Alex has to he's required to be home enough to make sure the cat is okay. And our cat is a little house cat. It is not an outdoor cat or the cat where you throw some food at him and he's fine. He's a little spoiled cat. So Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, tell Preo, Pakwan say hello. Listen, I think she is a bit jaded. I think if I was to say, oh, my Pakwan friend said hello, she'd be like, ugh. She would be polite and go, oh, yeah, hello. But the truth is, I don't think that works with her. I don't think she has any problems, Gennaro, on the getting attention from males. She wanted to take grab everywhere. What's nice is that the place, the area where I'll be staying, which I'm not going to say yet, the area where I'll be staying, it'll be fairly easy to walk around to different places. But I'm already looking at taking some day trips, and hey, if I want to take a train somewhere, can I do that? And maybe at the end, my wife and I can get away for 2-3 days, and just not have to worry about work and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. It'll happen, though. It's gonna happen. It is gonna happen, which I'm happy about, because I get to get the hell out of here. And this is the longest I've gone without going out of the country in, I don't even know, probably 20 years. Many, many years. So I'm ready to just get out of here for a bit. And then it'd be time to head back to the United States. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. We're almost at 2 hours. That's another thing. Everybody says, oh yeah, just do like a 45-minute stream. By the time people start coming in and the stream starts getting, where you start getting 40, 50, 60 people, we're already at like an hour and 15 minutes. It just doesn't make sense to do the shorter streams, But anyway, thank you. Kap kun kap, choke D. Good luck to you. What else? I don't know. I guess I'll see you on Wednesday, whether it's in a video or a stream. And stay safe. Click the thumbs up. Yeah, now I remember, I lost my train of thought. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so already. So please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out, just go to AmericanInBangkok.com. There is a shop tab there. Go there. Pick yourself up a couple of shirts. Get yourself a hat. I got some stuff going up, but I'm under the gun. I have to get some stuff. There's some stuff that has to be pulled down because they're not selling the stuff anymore. They don't have the shirt material anymore. And there's some stuff that I need to get up. So go to AmericanInBangkok.com. And also there is, the videos are up there, but there's also, I'm writing some stuff and putting it up there as well. So go for it. And have a wonderful day. Looks like I got a dent in my head right here. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, Choke D Lel Jerk and I will see you when I see you.